This is Clyde the Ride. He's my first car, and he's not great, but he gets me around. Or, well, he did. Fuck! So, being the hermit that I am, I decided that instead of asking my neighbor for a jump, well, I just buy this thing off Amazon that jumps it for you. Then take it to a shop so my friend can help me fix it. Good news, I got him started. Bad news? Well, this doesn't look good. I was almost certain Clyde the Ride was gone. What do you mean I'm overreacting? This is my new friend Ben. He's gonna try and help me fix this car. If I go missing, it's Ben's fault. Oh, and I ordered a tow truck. While I waited, I made him a care package of totally not poisoned chocolates. Here's my car throwing it back. Get it, Clyde. Right after he put my bumper back on, we went and met with Ben. Ben understandably put me on flashlight duty and then replaced my battery. Then we decided that we'd probably best wait until tomorrow to figure out where that smoke's coming from. To be continued. Hi, my name is Emmy, and this is the story about my car. Let me explain. This is Clyde, and this is Ben. He's gonna help me fix my car, because just like me, Clyde's a little bit broken on the inside. Now it's day 2 of our adventure, and I try to start my day with a smile. But then I realize after my shower that it's a beautiful day, and if I want to wear shorts, I gotta shave my legs. And then I realized that I had a pretty big bruise on my knee, so I put a Band-Aid on so it doesn't seem like I work at a brothel. Don't you fucking judge me. Oh, and this is me trying to hide my insecurities. It didn't work. Then collected my necessary survival snacks, and got some water, because hydrate or dihydrate, folks. And with that, I was ready to take on the world. I donned my stalker cap and I ordered an Uber because my car's broken.
To be continued.
Hi, I'm Emmy, and this is the story about my car. My car, Clyde the Ride, broke. And this is Ben. He's gonna help me fix it. The last you saw me, I hopped into an Uber to go meet up with Ben. My Uber driver played some pretty bumping Christian music I didn't actually know that existed. I arrived safely and gave Clyde his get well soon flowers. I think he liked them. While waiting for Ben, I noticed there was a car that looked suspiciously like Clyde. Coincidence? I think not. Me and Clyde also did some catching up. So you're telling me he stuck it in there? Wouldn't that burn though? Once Ben arrives, I decided that it's probably best we go get tacos, because I wanted tacos. Don't worry, Ben already knows that I'm in a dedicated relationship to my cardboard cutout of Tom Hiddleston, so it wasn't weird. Well, I might have made it weird. Oh, and he even showed me some cool Loki leatherwork that he did himself. With our tacos defeated, it was time to talk our game plan. Chapter 1, The Diagnosis. With lunch out of the way, I had Ben park my car. I would have done it, but unlike Clyde, I can't back that ass up. With the change of position, Ben could now insert his tools and rearrange Clyde's insides. What do you mean I could have rephrased that? I'm not changing it! It quickly became apparent that Ben didn't actually have the bit we needed to get into the car, so we went and bought one. Because apparently improv's a different tool. This is a terrible joke, but I'm gonna leave it in anyways. With the appropriate tools found, we head back to Clyde. I found this little guy in the parking lot. Look at him. He's kinda cute. I decided to make him overview manager. With Clyde open, Ben started doing something weird. Sniffing ignition coils. He says he was checking for the smell of burnt oil, but really I think he's just a drug addict. He even started sniffing spark plugs, and then he peer pressured me into sniffing it too. But I don't need another addiction, so I decided to stick with meth. Ben's suspicions were confirmed. I had a blown gasket. Apparently, this has nothing to do with Clyde being a whore. We determined to do the casket repair tomorrow, and that's when Ben started making fun of my nuts. What?
They're very small nuts.
I have perfectly reasonably sized nuts, Ben! And then he started insulting my favorite grocery store. Winco is a beautiful place, full of beautiful people, and if you... Fuck you, Ben. I was almost certain our friendship was over, just when it began. But then he let me put my nuts in, screw the bolts back into Clyde, and so I felt better. And then he inadvertently took the role of my father. Can you say it again?
I am very proud of you, Emmy.
Take that, Dad! Afterwards, we noticed that my filter was as bare as my 63-year-old neighbor when he forgets to close his blinds. I'm starting to think it's not an accident anymore. After realizing that my air filter was as worn out as my last brain cell, it was time to pick another one. Hey Ben, can I pick the color of my air filter?
Yes, you can.
Ben is a dirty, filthy liar. He made me take the red one because the pink one didn't fit my car. I'm still mad about it. Oh, and here's a comparison. Here's me being incredibly useful. Ben finishes with the filter and then decides to check underneath my car to see where the oil cap is for future use. Because apparently not changing your, oil for like a year is a bad thing. That's when Ben makes a terrible discovery. I apparently, took some parking bars with me when I ran them over. Sometimes I forget which way's reverse and forwards. I don't know. I'm working on it. Me and another parking bar hashed it out, and then I decided to keep it as a souvenir. At one point, I asked if he could teach me how to change a tire, but then he tried to unsummon me. He didn't realize he needed an actual cross. I went ahead and opened my trunk to show him that I have a car jack too, and to also warn him that that's where he'd end up if he crossed me. Ben grabbed the jack out of my trunk. That's not a euphemism. But we quickly realized that Jack was about as useful as I am, so we went ahead and grabbed his and began to pump. Once again, this is not a euphemism. He even let me pump it, but I just wasn't strong enough. And I got a little upset, so I ripped it off! Have I mentioned that this isn't a euphemism? Ben quickly realized that I was, not great at this.
I've never had to teach anybody this.
So I let him finish the job. Not a euphemism! To my dismay, Ben started twisting Clyde's nuts violently, until all of a sudden they came off, and wouldn't come out. So Ben had a meltdown, which is understandable, I suppose, when your nuts get stuck in something. But with a quick couple of bangs, they came right on out. I also gave it a try, but it seems like somebody went in before me and tightened them very, very much. Not because I'm weak. Not because I'm weak! At some point, the ADHD in me discovered this truck that was abandoned. My first attempts at entry were for naught, and my hopes were dashed. And then I realized I could try the other door, and look! I open sesami'd that bitch. Wait, is this legal? After fully accepting my new life as a criminal, I looked around. I found this book, soccer book. I immediately put it down because the only sport I play is sleep. Oh, and then I found this gas can, and right next to it, a carton of cigarettes. This guy lives on the edge. I wasn't the only one looking around. Ben actually spotted a toolkit and then searched it like the criminal he also is. See, now he can't report me because he did it too. He didn't find anything interesting, but I did find this rake. Wow, look, it's so big. Ben thought I was crazy for even touching it, but honestly, this thing has a lot of potential. Look at this. You try raking a bush with your hand and come back to me. Sadly, Ben thought I might get tinnitus, so he took it away. In retaliation, I went to the rustiest thing I could find and tried to open it. There wasn't anything useful. It did convince me that Ben might be right, though. Welcome back to the Clyde the Ride series. My name is Emmy, and this is my story. Well, not just my story. This is Ben. He's trying to help me fix my car, Clyde the Ride. I've never really been good with cars. That includes not changing my oil for a whole year and running over a couple of parking bars. But out of the kindness of his heart, Ben has been helping me learn and fix my car. I don't think he knows what he signed up for. It's day 3. This is the day that we fixed Clyde's blown gasket cover. This is me being rejected by my cat. I actually received a very important package in the mail, so I snatched it up and scurried back to safety. Ick, sunlight. Today's outfit really screams middle-aged dad, but I'm not gonna make another father joke because I've already made like 7 in the series. I even wore my Fitbit to see if I could walk off all those tacos I plan on eating. When grabbing my keys, I remembered that I'm doing this for a reason. I had to save Clyde. Oh, and I even caught some rare footage of people who don't like pineapple on their pizza. Crazy. Oh, and then I had to consider if I was gonna go and take it out before I left. Eventually, I decided that it would be good for my mental health if I just did it. Upon arriving to see Clyde, I went ahead and gave him his corn nuts, which I promised him last time, seeing as cars also need to eat. Ben arrived shortly after, and I nearly lost my arm waving to him. Replacing Clyde's battery had reset the code, so we decided to take a test drive to see what showed up, and to see if the smoke was bad. And then for some reason I told Ben that one time I forgot that my handbrake was up, and I drove around wondering why Clyde was so sluggish. And this has Ben making a smart decision. He wasn't sure if it was more dangerous to be in the car or outside of the car while I was driving, and I couldn't give him a straight answer. He probably would have been safer in the abandoned truck, but it's too late to turn back now. I was astonished to see that Ben could touch his feet to the floorboard, as I had never been able to do that. It was a hard reality.
To adventure and beyond!
I'm pretty sure this is... Oh!
I immediately showed Ben that he was in safe and capable hands. The 4 years I've been driving, I haven't been stopped by the police once. But that's mainly because I don't stop. If anyone ever claims that I have 4 warrants for my arrest, they're liars. It's a solid 6. After explaining that all to Ben, it was time to finish our 15-minute drive. As you can see here, it was already going well. Last we left off, Ben made a massive mistake by getting into my passenger seat. This is a bit of the chaos that happened during the drive.
Why are you swerving?
What?
That's what I was.
I don't know what you're... Ben, I was
You were
driving straight. Wait, do left or right, Ben?
Right. Wait, what?
Train tracks. I say we stop on the train tracks and just wait.
Bold of you to assume I want to live.
This is fun! Let's not run over people, not today.
You say that, but I'm kind of hoping you do.
Ben, we talked about that was a California stop. Don't tell the police officers. No, Mr. Monkey! Oh, Jesus, he fell down. I loved him with all my heart, and now he's gone. Oh, that's a stop sign. Oh, no, it's a stoplight. I'm not wearing my glasses. Because I'm wearing my contacts!